Today's reading is probably one of the best pieces of literature, not just in the Bible, but in all of antiquity. Luke was known for being an incredibly good writer and has some of the best writing in that period, not just in the Bible. And we hear this great story that are so familiar to all of us. And it's about two men going the wrong way, headed in the wrong direction. All of Luke's gospel is pointed toward Jerusalem. In fact, the last third, roughly, is a narrative about his progression going toward Jerusalem. And in that progression, he's picking people up with him to become disciples that will ultimately be the people that start the church in the book of Acts, which was also written by Luke. And so this great travel narrative that gets him to Jerusalem. So everything is pointed to Jerusalem. And now we hear these two disciples that are pointed somewhere else. There's been a tremendous amount of scholarship trying to determine where is Emmaus. We don't know. In fact, on one of my trips to Israel, I had a tour guide whisper to me while we were at Emmaus. He said, this is only one of about 3 or 4 sites that we take people to that are Emmaus. They still don't really know. But some of the recent scholarship suggests that it might have been a Roman garrison town, which is really interesting if these people are pointed away from the power center of Jerusalem, spiritual, and are pointed toward a Roman garrison, earthly power, the Roman government. And they're not bad people, they're just going the wrong way. There's a lot we could talk about in this piece, but let me just share one little piece. And I think to me it's probably one of those things that kind of grabs you by the lapels. We sometimes think of our God as being passive, don't we? That he somehow sits up in heaven, kind of waits for things to happen, waits for us to get in contact with him through prayer, and that's kind of who he is. He's somebody far out there. I think we miss the fact that he is truly a God that pursues us. I mean, Jesus follows these guys, right? He goes after them. He doesn't wait for them to come to him. He goes out and reaches out and takes them, turns them around. Because remember, when he speaks, they stop. It's a little detail, but it's an important detail. They stop when he speaks. And then they turn and go the other way after they have heard the scripture. We talk about us following God. But one of the points that we miss is that we have a God that pursues us. Throughout the Old Testament, God sends one rescue mission after another to try to reclaim us, right? He sends Noah, Adam and Eve, he sends Noah. He sends Abraham. He sends Isaac. He sends Moses. He sends David. One rescue mission after another. He's a God that pursues us. He's not benignly waiting around for us to get in contact with him. He comes after us. And finally, he sends Jesus to get to us, to be there for us. And even then, when some of his disciples don't get it, he pursues them down the road. My brothers and sisters, we have a great and glorious God, one that loves us, one that wants a relationship with us, and one that will do what is necessary for us to have that relationship. All we have to do is respond.